Okay, as we're wrapping up the Scherrer testing video, we found some simple hacks and modifications that you could do to really improve the performance of the system. One of them, if you notice, the normal range, they call that an antenna. I mean, really? Come on, guys. You could at least solder a grounded element to it, make it a proper dipole, but the real solution is to solder an SMA connector on it. If you look, heck, all the pads are there and ready to go. So let me show you how that's done. So if you buy the normal range receiver, which is what I'd recommend, do this mod. Parts cost maybe $2, $3. Go to Elcom, eBay, or maybe if you're a FPV retailer. First thing you're going to do is take a knife here and just cut out. Let me clear the clutter off this bench. I'm just going to cut out this pad. I'm going to cut a little more out of that. Don't cut too deep because you don't want to cut through the circuit board trace. Then they put a little bit of glue back there, so we're going to want to pry that off of there. Take some solder. Just pull that sucker out of there. Amazing how this one's determined to make a fool of me. Okay, then all you have to do is solder in your SMA. Drop it in. Let's flip it over this way so it's... Now don't worry about overheating. Get this good and hot. You want a good bond. You won't be overheating it, trust me. Nice hot soldering iron, fill it in there, let it set. There you go. And there you have it. Proper SMA port on both sides of your board. Nice thing is now I can screw on my proper antenna or my extensions or whatever else I want to use. I only happen to have straight connectors. They do make them in right angles like this, so whatever works for you. That just happened to be what was in my junk drawer, and let's face it, I can just put a right angle connector on it and be done. But this receiver has a hack too. You remember earlier in the test we were able to shut it down with a simple servo surge, and Scherrer had put a large they call it a power supply unit. It was nothing more than a capacitor across these pads attempting to buffer the servo. Well, I obtained the schematics and found a better place to put a smaller capacitor that can take a much better surge. Now your servos won't be supplied the power, but the receiver will maintain power. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't care less about what happens to my servos for a couple of microseconds so long as my receiver is able to hold it. Simple solution is simply to take a capacitor. I recommend a minimum of 1,000 microfarads. More is better. Don't worry about the voltage because it's only holding about 4 volts. So this voltage rating is completely irrelevant. Just look at the capacitance. The side with the gray strip is negative. The side without is positive. And all you're going to do is you're going to solder it right here to these 2 pins on your receiver. And do that, I can get the solder to behave. Tin up your leads. Get my soldering iron a little bit. And there you have it. Now, of course, you don't have to solder out directly. You can always bend it over to the side or however you feel, whatever works for your installation. I just installed it that way for simplicity's sake to show you how it was done. But that's all there is to it. That changes the servo surge capability from approximately 20 microseconds to a little over 1,000 microseconds. So the surge is basically 1 microsecond per microfarad, approximately. And this will assure, if you get that sudden brownout problem where your servos take a surge and your voltage drops, well, even though the servos are seeing low voltage, this capacitor is going to hold memory on the chip inside here so it doesn't lose its mind and crash your airplane. Simple fix capacitors, Radio Shack has them, eBay has them, Jameco Electronics has them. They cost anywhere from 10 cents to $1.50 a piece, depending on the quantity you buy. Definitely, I would not fly this receiver without that capacitor on there. Absolutely not. So, that's it, folks.